From Wild Eye releasing on DVD comes the 2023 British horror film Watch Me Sleep. This is 94 minutes and directed by John Williams, who's very prolific, apparently. Starring Darren McAree, James Whitehurst, and Holly Platt. And the story goes a little something like this. A man returns home. His mother has passed away. For some reason, he hates his mother, and he is very indifferent about the funeral, but he also is interested in making sure she's dead. This is a little weird. He hires a company that specializes in putting webcams inside coffins so that you can still watch a loved one for a period of 4 weeks after they're buried for some reason. And he's insistent to this person that he wants it a lot longer. He really wants to either revel in the fact that she's dead or make sure she's dead. And he convinces the guy, pays the guy, bullies the guy into changing the contract so that it will be 12 months of viewing of his, with a night vision camera of his mother, apparently, decomposing inside a coffin. Very sick idea. I was yanked out of the movie by the notion that a company would do this or could legally do this, and why the guy didn't just do something like this himself, just slap one inside and that's that. So the film is this guy who's struggling with alcoholism, struggling with being, different and having been away from his friend groups for so long. As the film goes along, I'm not going to tell you the whole story. As the film goes along, you learn that he suffered a lot of abuse from his mother and her friends. And as the film goes along, he starts drinking heavily and reluctantly looking at this webcam and thinking he sees her move, or thinking he's seeing dead people or weird stuff going on in his community. And the question is he losing his grip on his sobriety? Is he losing his grip on his sanity? Or is something really weird going on? And that's pretty much the story that I'm going to tell you. I don't want to tell you more than that and where it goes. It was... I found the concept of the Coffin camera company so ridiculous that it kind of took me out of the movie for the most part anyway. But it would have worked better as a short. It felt pretty repetitive, pretty slow. Some of the lead's more dramatic moments sometimes come off as being unintentionally humorous when he's really in a lot of emotional pain or stress or anger or terror. It's got some blood and gore and some freaky visual sequences in it involving, I'm not going to say what it's involving because I don't want to give anything away. If you do watch this, everything is better as a surprise in a film. It's intended to be a surprise. Overall, I was just not that interested in it. Occasionally, muddy audio really didn't help the film. And I have no problem with British accents. I'm so well versed in British film, TV, music, you name it, that I'm pretty good with most accents. But I do feel like sometimes they can be a little thick for our ears, but also sometimes the audio recording in British productions is just a little muddy. It's not as clear. And I had to crank this up and actually turn the subtitles on sometimes because the mixture of the thick accent, the mumbly delivery of said accent, and some just not great sound recording on occasion. But it's certainly, it's indie horror. It's folk horror, as everybody is obsessed with saying these days. And if you're a fan of indie horror or obsessed with this newly discovered genre of folk horror that's existed forever, you might get more out of it than I did. I just found it, I'm not that much into modern horror, and I think its budgetary constraints compared with some of its production values, to me, just kind of, it didn't connect with me. So still more power to Mr. Williams for getting this film out. At the beginning of this, there is, you can watch it separately from the extras menu too, but when you pop the disc in, it just plays a bunch of trailers that I later found were all films from the same director and a pretty wide variety of styles and genres. So he clearly is somebody who has worked a lot, gotten a lot of productions completed, and it doesn't just stick to one thing, which is cool. So the extras are an image gallery that's a minute and a half set to the score, and it looks like it's just someone just pulled frame grabs from the movie you just watched. Original trailer is a minute and a half. Theatrical trailer, I guess that's maybe the Wild Eye releasing trailer, is a minute solid. And then there's the trailers for the other John Williams films. There's Something in the Shadows, Creatures of the Night, The Slayers, and Crispy's Curse, again, which are all very different. We have the package. We have the cover there, which does not in any way reflect what you're going to see in the movie, which I kind of figured going on. It looks kind of like it's an AI image front and back. This is a Region 0 disc, so anywhere in the world that you pop this in, it will play. We've got that image again, and underneath, I guess I can show you this. Underneath, it's just a little bit of grue and gore from the most disturbing and gory part of the film. So not a film that I was interested in, but your mileage may vary. On DVD from Wild Eye Releasing is Watch Me Sleep.